Welcome to KD Trends. Today we have Mark from Hassel. Hassel is an architecture company based in Melbourne for over decades. And Mark heads the knowledge space in the company. And we have him today bringing you to the people how tech is being used or how tech plays a vital role in design industry in total. How are you, Mark?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Just tell me about how design and tech are going together in the current technology-paced environment.
Yeah. So of course, technology is moving fast, very fast. Our industry is a bit of a lagger in that, especially in the design world. We've been quite forward-thinking for a while. BIM, which is building information modelling, which is kind of 3D on steroids. So obviously, in the old days, we used to design with paper, a pen and paper, but then that moved into computer-aided design. BIM is basically taking 3D modelling of buildings, of design, but actually making it smarter. So we can actually start to label and tag pieces of the building, and actually understand from a construction perspective, from a design perspective, how kind of they would perform, but also looking at it in a kind of utopian world, in the future, and it is happening slowly, that we could actually track the facilities management of that. So the digital model is actually starting to become smarter and smarter.
Absolutely.
The issue is that the industry has to catch up with actually using it, and also virtual reality, mixed reality, and then with augmented reality, there are companies now that are actually, if you go to a greenfield site, and there's a design so you can stand in a field, you can put some goggles on, still see the field, but you can actually see where your house would be, how that would look like. All of this is coming and happening. It's a bit of a slow process. Technology's ahead of the industry, I think, but it's working really well, and it's just improving everything we do.
So when the technology changes, how does people in the design industry adapt to it?
I mean, they are programs, and they stand on the shoulders of giants. There's not much that jumps hugely. I mean, they are iterations of software. I think with the incoming stuff of
the new generation.
VR and AR and that, I mean, that's more of a leap.
Yes.
But again, especially the youngsters, they just adapt.
Absolutely.
I mean, we still see amazing designers in our studio with yellow tracing paper, and they'll mark it up, and they're hugely talented in their design and the construction piece. And they've adopted and adapted well to digital. But the youngsters just come in and they know it because they're trained in it. They didn't really do much pen and paper coming back. So us understanding space is really important, and the interactions internet. But we've got to continue the research into understanding how people are performing in the space once we've delivered it.
So what excites you the most about the industry, and what's the future looking like for the design industry?
It's a very big question. So I mean, VR and AR is obviously very exciting.
Yeah.
And other technologies of how that will affect design is quite exciting. So if we look at, the favourite one, which is driverless cars, what's going to happen when driverless cars really come in? And there's talk about will it be 5 years or it'll be 50 years because they can't quite get the technology right. Yeah. We can do it right on a freeway.
Lot of safety constraints.
So we can do it, but if that does happen, how's that going to change the cityscape?
Yeah.
We won't need car parks because cars will come in and out. So what are we going to do with the car parks? That will change enormously the scope of that. Smart cities, I think that's a massive thing as well. There are some smart cities being built around the world where you have ducting underneath the streets that actually take your garbage away, so you don't need garbage trucks in the streets, you don't need turning circles. The impact of technology is really affecting the landscape of what we do. We've got 3D scanning now. We've got drones flying over cities to actually scan cities. So we're just going to get better at understanding and digitise what we're doing. And I think a load of new industries will come out of that.
So it's one of the toughest puzzles right now for many companies in the market out there, because tech is moving so fast and there's so many tech tools and trends coming up. So what are the couple of suggestions, if you have to put it in 2 bullet points, what are the key suggestions you're going to give to the design companies out there or creative business out there? How can they leverage technology?
But I mean, in terms of just where the future of the industry should be, I just think they need to embrace it. I mean, there's so many exciting technologies and when I look to, when we're building our team and I'm talking to people to join us, you're always looking for people that aren't just like, I'm a traditional person and I can do CAD or I can do Revit, and you want someone who's pushing the boundaries and wants to adapt and adopt
something new tools.
And it's because you need that open-mindedness. They're the people that are going to succeed. So the idea for a leader is to say yes and to see where that goes, because I think that's where innovation comes from. So if we can allow youngsters who will adapt and adopt the tech that's coming out from really smart people, and even apps that you guys are designing and platforms that you lot are producing. We've seen that there are amazing things that can happen with adapting. And an app's not going to change the world. Everyone thinks an app's a solution for everything. But obviously there's only a few that succeed.
It's a problem that we define first.
Yes.
And see how we can build a solution around it rather coming up with an app and like say, oh, app is built and now adapt it.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, it's the other way around.
And the other thing about, adoption and adaptation is key.
Yeah.
And I just think you need to embrace that.
So wrapping up from today's talk from Mark from Hassel, we learned how to adapt and adopt to the change. It's very important to adapt to the change and leave the traditional methods behind. Secondly, think differently and come up with the solutions for the problems, rather coming up with solutions which you think are the right solution. That's it for today.